In the second part of the video, I would like to show you how you can use X3's web services to import data into X3 using XML. Okay, so let's make sure that we've got the prerequisites set in place. So we first of all need to make sure that we have a classic SOAP pool web service created for our solution. So go to this function and find that you do have an entry in there. You will need to copy this link into your URL. So just do a single click on this gray icon here and copy the URL that goes on top of your browser. Okay, so just copy that, and you will need that later when you go into your external application, which is going to import data into your Sage system. The second thing you'll need to make sure of is that you have your web services, which is AWS import web service, running inside your folder, and it is published. So go to your development function, scroll down to script dictionary, and under that, under scripts, go to web services, and in here make sure that the AWS import web service is here and it is published. So you need to have a published date on that. If you don't have this web service, you can copy it from your seed folder. So go to your seed and copy it across to this folder and publish it. So this is the second prerequisite that you need to have in place. The third item that you need to have is an XML import export template. So go to setup and scroll down to usage, and under import and exports, go to import export templates, and make sure that you do have an XML import template that you can use to import data. So in this example, I'm going to use the built-in change template. So if I switch to change, so I'm going to import currency exchange rate into the system as an example for today's tutorial. So the system comes with a currency exchange rates template. Just choose that and rename that to something else, and duplicate it into exchange, for example. Change the type from file type to ASCII, to XML, from ASCII to XML, and make sure you do have an indicator in place in there. So just put for example, a C in there, right? So, and when you save this or create this, you will have an XML template. So I have already created that one here. So it is this one, and I've changed that to XML. I've given it an indicator, and now everything, all the rows in here have an indicator. So there's nothing extraordinary here. It's just the same template. Make sure you validate that. So basically, we have all these things in place now. We are ready to import data into our system. So let's do something. So let's export. In order to just see what that XML should look like, what is better than exporting the XML itself from the system? So let's go to the usage function and go to exports and type in your template to use, and just type in a sample data here. So in here I'm going to type in AUD, and I'm going to do an export. So this is going to give me an XML with 28 entries. Okay, so open this XML in your notepad or any other text editor. So this is what that XML looks like, and this is what your XML should look like when you import into the system. Alright, so this is all the AUD rates, historical AUD rates that exist in my database. I'm going to skip rid of all of them except the first one. So we are basically going to create an XML that we are going to import into the system. Assuming this is now today's date, so I'm going to put 2024, 0 to here, and the 19. So today is the 19th of February 24, and this is my daily rate. And say, for example, the AUD to Malaysian ringgit is now 3.11. Okay, so I'm going to basically import a new XML into the system, which is this one, which is a new database, a new exchange rate. So if you have copied that SOAP web service address, if not, let's go back to the administration, go to web services and classic SOAP web services, and click on this gray link. and copy the address that you see on the address bar. So just copy that. Now, going to your third-party application, which is going to put data into Sage X3, you will need to do the web service call. So I'm going to use SOAP UI for that. So this is my SOAP UI interface. I'm going to click a new SOAP project on the toolbar. I'm going to put the project name as new XML SOAP project. And in the initial WSDL, just paste the address that you found in the toolbar and click OK. So what this one does is it will load all the actions that are possible on this web service. We're going to use the run action. So the AWS import web service uses the run action. It includes a sample request in there, so double click on that again. And in the code language, type in ENG if you're using English. In the pool alias, put in the pool alias of your web service pool. I'm going to put FVD. If you're not sure what the pool alias is, go back, go to the administration, go to classic pools configuration, and make sure you have a web service pool which is running, and you can copy the alias from here. So I've put the alias name here. In the pool ID, I just get rid of this and put a / here. And in the request config, I'm going to paste the script in there, which is this one. So adxwss.opt return equals to JSON. And in the public name, I need to put in the web service name. So AWS import. This is the web service name that we're calling. And in the input XML, you'll need to put in this script, which is equivalent to the headers or the parameters of this web service. So if I go back to the web service, go to the development and go to web service, you will see that this web service has a group of parameters that it requires. So we'll need to feed it with these parameters. So we've got to paste this script as a script inside the XML call. So I just transformed that list of parameters into something like this, which is similar to a JSON entry. So this is what you can find in the descriptions of the video below. So these are all the parameters that we just saw on the interface. So in the second parameter, which is the I_modimp, you need to put in the import export template name. So I need to put in the template name as xchange. This is the import export template that we just created. In the record separator, we'll need to put in the pipe, because we're basically going to replace all the return line feed characters with the pipe, as this import file parameter needs to be in a single line. So we'll need to transform this XML into a single line thing. Alright, so we'll need to do a couple of steps on this XML in our application. The first thing we need to do is we'll need to replace all of this less than characters with the replacement character set. So I'm going to go find and replace, and I'm going to say replace all this less than characters with ampersand LT and a semicolon. So this is the replacement character set for less than. I'll do this, replace all. The next thing we'll need to do is we'll need to replace all the quotes with /quote, because we'll need to escape this quote character in our XML. So let's do that as well. And the last thing we need to do is we'll need to make this a single line entry. So we'll need to make this an extended search and say we're going to replace all the \n's with the pipe, which is our line separator or feed separator character specified in that JSON. So do this as well. So 3 steps, and this is the single line entry that we have. Copy this whole thing and put it just below this end, within this double quotes, but just below this pipe end. Okay. Control V here. Just make sure you don't have 2 pipes at the end of it. So if you have 2 pipes, just get rid of them. So this is the XML that we can feed into our system. Alright. The last thing you need to do is you need to go to the authentication tab and make sure you are authenticated. So choose basic here. Put in the password for the service. And so this is basically the Syracuse username and password, and always choose to authenticate preemptively if you are using SAP UI, and just click on run. So we are going to call this web service now. Alright, so if I click on this XML here, I can see that a entry of Malaysian ringgit to AUD on the 19th of 2nd 2024 has been created. So this replacement of character, so there's 3 steps to do. Those 3 steps to do on the XML before you can actually put it on this ifile parameter. You'll need to do it outside your Sage X3 system using your whatever programming language or programming platform or integration platform you're using. So do those pre-processing steps on the XML, and then put that value inside the ifile parameter and run it, and you should be good to go. So this is a success message, and we are done here. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson, and make sure you get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you.